kids that are left, the grandchildren. And so I was thinking, what is it that, I don't know, the little ones don't know yet, but when you're in school, they ask you to write kind of like your own eulogy. They tell you, what do you want to be when you grow up? And write it, and write it like if you're dying, that somebody's going to read it, and they're going to say, what do you want them to say about you when it's all over, right? I don't know how many of you have had that assignment in school, but I know from working with teachers that that's one of the things that they ask you to do. They tell you, think about your life and write this down so that somebody can read it as if you were dying and somebody's reading it about you. And so I know what the kids write. Oh, here is Moses, whatever, and he parted the sea, and he was a doctor, and he was a lawyer, and he was whatever. That's what the kids write. But as I was thinking today, for this whole week, that I have to write the eulogy for my mom, I'm thinking, you know what? It really doesn't matter whether she was a nurse, which she was, whether she was she worked at, did you guys know she worked at Reese's, a candy factory, and, or actually just a factory, and they would can things like ants and bugs, and they also packed Reese's peanut butter cups, and they packed all kinds of things. But all of those years that she did that, at the end, we're not going to say, here lies, Ruth, who packed packages at Reese's Peanut Butter Cups Company. Neither are we going to say, oh, she was a great LVN and she worked at this convalescent home and that convalescent home. Because at the end, what matters is who she was as a whole, right? And what were her virtues and what was her life about? And her life was really about her family. So all of us that are left over, that's what we have to look forward to. What is our husband? What is our wife? What is our children? And that relationship that we have with them. Because one day when we reach this spot, somebody's going to have to say something about us. And that's the thing. So then I was trying to think, well, how do I start this? Do I talk about, obviously I'm not going to talk about her, what she did as for work, because that doesn't matter. Am I going to talk about how she loved to set the table every night? All the plates were set, the forks and knives and the cups, and the whole table was always set up all pretty. Because at the end, that doesn't even matter. Am I going to talk about how she always walked around cleaning and moving things around? At the end, it doesn't really matter. So I was trying to figure out, how do I write this? What am I going to write about? So I went through and I decided, you know what, I need to make that collage of pictures that, I don't know if you saw it in the front. And so I thought, okay, I'm going to put those pictures up there. And, well, the kids were going to put them up. I just picked them. So then I thought, well, as I was looking through the pictures, I thought, holy moly, this tells her life. All these pictures really tell her life. And this is what she's about. What all those pictures captured is what she's about. Okay, so I'm this I just said it in English for everybody who just had to go through the Spanish part, okay? Now I'm going to speak in English and in Spanish so everybody can get it, okay? So as I looked at the pictures, appropriate to celebrate our mom, one thing kept coming up in my mind, and that is that a lot of who she was private and unphotographable. Mientras yo veía las fotos apropiadas para celebrar a nuestra mamá, una cosa volvía a mi mente, y eso era que mucho de lo que ella era no se puede fotografiar. What the pictures showed were a mom who loved. She was a mom who protected. Definitely a mom who loved to travel, and most definitely a woman who liked to look her best. Lo que vemos en las fotos es una mamá que ama. Ella era una mamá que protegía. Ciertamente una mamá a quien le gustaba viajar. Y definitivamente una mujer a quien le gustaba verse lo mejor. Those pictures, they were precious to her. She was born in Guatemala in 1934. There is a picture of her where she's sporting a big bow in her hair. She must have been 3 or years old. You'll see it out there. It's a little picture like this, and she's got this big bow in her hair. That means that she carried that picture for over 75 years. Imagine carrying your iPod with picture that you took of something for 75 years. She carried this little picture. And think of, this is what I was thinking when I was looking at the pictures. I'm thinking, somebody took this picture of her. Obviously gave it to her mom. She got it from her mom. She had it in Guatemala all the years that she was growing up. Then she took the picture, and when she got married, put it in a photo album. She glued it onto the page. Somewhere along the line, she unstuck it from the page and put it in another photo album. We moved to Chicago. She carried it with her, along with a whole bunch of other pictures. She carried that picture, took it to Chicago, took care of it over there. When we moved from Chicago to California, she brought that picture with her. And she's lived here at least the time that my husband and I have been married, which is 25 years. So it's a lot longer than that. She's carried this picture for 75 years. Little picture like this. And she also kept pictures of friends that she had met in Guatemala. So some of those you'll see in a video maybe later if you come over to the house. Esas fotos eran muy preciosas para ella. Mami nació en Guatemala en 1934. Hay una foto de ella donde ella está estilando un gran moño en su pelo. Ella ha de haber tenido 3 o 4 años de edad. Eso quiere decir que ella cuidó de esa foto por más de 75 años. Luego está una foto que habla más de 1000 palabras. Es la foto de su mamá linda leyéndole la Biblia. I forgot to mention, along with all these pictures that she carried this other teeny picture of her grandmother. And in this picture, her grandmother is holding her in her lap, or she's holding a Bible, and she's reading the Bible to 2 children. One of them is her. She carried that picture for 75 years, or longer. The pictures continue to tell the story of how she became a young lady, and she was involved with church. She always wanted to be a missionary and a pastor's wife. She helped in the production of a church play that she was very proud of. Las fotos continúan a contar una historia de cuando ella era una joven. Ella estaba centrada en la iglesia. Ella siempre quiso ser una misionera y la esposa de un pastor. Y ella ayudó en la producción de una presentación para Navidad. Ella siempre estuvo muy orgullosa de esto. In the late 50s, she met her dad. I was born, then Ingrid, then Marvin. I remember when Ingrid first stood up in her crib, how Mom was overjoyed and picked her up and ran to go show Dad, who worked down the street. En los últimos años de los 50, ella conoció a nuestro papá. Yo nací y luego Ingrid y luego Marvin. Yo recuerdo cuando Ingrid se paró por primera vez en su cuna y se puso tan contenta mi mamá y la cargó y se la llevó a enseñar a mi papá que trabajaba a la vuelta en Caminos, creo. Life got tough in Guatemala. I remember them not having any money for anything. They both decided that in order to provide for us a better future, the only hope was to move to America. Pictures show a happy young couple with their 3 kids, sightseeing Chicago. What the pictures don't show is Mom on her knees with her 3 kids in Guatemala, praying for Dad, who had come to Chicago a year before. La vida se puso dura en Guatemala. Yo me acuerdo no teniendo dinero para nada. Ellos dos decidieron que en orden que ellos pudieran proveer un mejor futuro para nosotros, la única opción era que nosotros nos moviéramos a los Estados Unidos. Las fotos muestran una familia paseando en Chicago. Lo que las fotos no muestran es a nuestra mamá en rodillas con sus 3 hijos, orando en Guatemala desde que mi papá se vino a Estados Unidos hasta que nosotros nos unimos con él. It was at this time that I began to notice of the attributes that made her who she was. When she arrived in Chicago, the first thing we did was to look for a church to worship in. Fue en este tiempo que yo empecé a notar las calidades que hicieron a quien ella fue. Cuando llegamos a Chicago, la primera cosa que hicimos fue buscar una iglesia a la cual pudiéramos ir a darle gracias a Dios. She had pretty legs, and she always wore high heels. I don't know how she does it, how she did it, because I'm having a hard time with these, and she always had heels. Even at nighttime, she had heels. We began to travel the Central States. Our family grew again with Ruth and then Orpha. We have pictures of us traveling to Wisconsin Dells, to Iowa, and even back to Guatemala. Foto tras foto que fue tomada en los 70s, yo veo a mi mamá bien bonita. Ella tenía unas piernas bien guapas. Empezamos a viajar a los estados del centro. Nuestra familia creció otra vez cuando nació Ruth y luego Orpha. Tenemos fotos de nosotros viajando a Wisconsin Dells, a Iowa y hasta Guatemala. What we don't have pictures of is Mom crouched down on the sidewalk in front of our apartment, handing tools to Dad as he fixed the car that we were going to travel in. She taught us how to be helpers. We don't see her going to the laundromat the week before the trip. We don't see pictures of her making sandwiches, preparing diaper bags. She taught us to prepare for the what-ifs. She was Dad's co-pilot in every way. Lo que no tenemos son fotos de nuestra mamá agachada en la banqueta enfrente de nuestro apartamento, dándole herramientas a mi papá para que él arreglara el carro en el que íbamos a viajar a nuestras excursiones. Ella nos enseñó cómo ser ayudas idóneas. No vemos fotos de ella yendo a la lavandería antes del viaje. No vemos fotos de ella haciendo sándwiches con frijoles negros. No vemos fotos de ella preparando pañaleras. Ella nos enseñó a estar listos por todos los por si en caso. Ella fue un copiloto a nuestro papá. Y ahora que pasan los días, yo me doy cuenta que esos attributes nos los dio a nosotras las hijas, porque yo miro cómo viaja Orfita y tiene su carro todo bien planeado. Kerry también, Ruthie también, Marvel también, todo lo que hemos aprendido de ella a cómo planear las cosas. As the years passed, those pictures record a happy time where the priority was God. They taught us to pray before every trip. We prayed together at dinner. We prayed at midnight every New Year's Eve so that we would begin in prayer when the new year began. As our lives became more complicated, she began a secret habit that we just learned about a few years ago. En cuanto los años pasaron, esas fotos recuerdan un tiempo feliz en la cual la prioridad era Dios. Ellos nos enseñaron a orar antes de cada viaje. Orábamos juntos antes de cenar. Orábamos a la medianoche todos los fines de año para que cuando cayera el nuevo año estuviéramos en oración. En cuanto nuestras vidas empezaron a complicarse, ella empezó un hábito en secreto, el cual descubrimos hace unos cuantos años. Oh, how proud she was when she saw us growing up. She continued to pound Bible verses into our heads. Put your delight in the Lord, and He will give you the desires of your heart, she told me when I told her, crying about a lying boyfriend that I had had. I got so mad when she told me that verse. I was like, don't tell me Bible verses. No, hijita, we're going to pray. Oh, I was so mad. But I obeyed. And as the time passed, we began getting married. That's all those children now. And having children of our own. Qué orgullosa estaba ella cuando nos vio crecer. Ella continuó amartillando los versos de la Biblia en la cabeza. Pon tu delicia en Jehová y Él te dará las peticiones de tu corazón, me dijo cuando yo le conté de un novio que tuve, cuando lo encontré mintiéndome. Yo me puse pero bien enojada cuando ella me dijo ese verso, pero yo obedecí. Cuando siguieron pasando los años, nosotros nos empezamos a casar y a tener hijos propios. So you're probably thinking, wait a minute, what habit did she begin? Her habit involved a little box. Here is her little box. It's just a little box. It also involved white little pieces of paper. large supermarket bags. You see, she realized that prayer changes things. She lived the same, let go and let God. Tal vez usted se pregunta qué hábito empezó ella. Su hábito envolvía una cajita, papelitos y bolsas grandes del mercado. Ella realizó en su fe que las oraciones cambian las cosas. Ella vivió el dicho, suelta y deja que Dios obre. As we would call her or come visit and tell her of our work troubles or our children, she would write a prayer on a piece of paper, place it in the box. She placed them in the box. And as each prayer was answered, she removed them from that box and put them in a paper bag, like this. Now these, before she passed away, she bagged them up. And so this one says, from 94 to 96. And it says, put your delight in the Lord, and He will give you the desires of your heart. Now mind you, when Orpha and I found this bag, it wasn't all neat like this. Okay, well she backed these up. But when we first found out about it, she had regular sized trash bags bundled up under the bed, just like thrown in there. So it surprises me that she's got these bundled up, because what we found with Orpha was just a big old mess. Cuando nosotros la llamábamos o la visitábamos y le contábamos nuestros problemas del trabajo o de nuestros hijos, ella escribía una petición en un papelito, luego lo ponía en una cajita, y cuando Dios se la contestaba, ella movía el papelito de una caja y lo metía en la bolsa de papel. El canto Ave María es especial para mí. Oh, holy moly, I'm reading it in English and saying it in Spanish. That's good. The song Ave Maria is special to me for that reason. Because even though it is not about Ruth, I hear Ave Ruth. We cry and we are sad because she loved us and we loved her. We know one thing. If you ever shared with her a pain that you were going through, she prayed. If you ever shared with her an achievement, she prayed. We found big bags of little papers under her bed. Our mom and dad prayed in the wee hours of the night for us. The song says, Ora pro nobis, pray for us. Ruth, our mother, did. Grandchildren, know this, she prayed for you, for each and every one of you. We've got proof here of all the little things that she prayed about. Alan's algebra test. Jacob's problems in the park, or in the park. She prayed about Joshua skateboarding. She prayed about Kylie and some play that she was in. She prayed for every single one of you. And those little things are in here. Okay? I know about my kids because she shared some of those with me years ago. But I'm sure if I went through these, this one's about Tara. This one's about the church, some church, that she's praying for. El canto Ave María es especial a mí por esa razón, porque aunque no es de Ruth, yo oigo Ave Ruth. Nosotros oramos, lloramos porque ella nos amó y porque la amamos. Sepan una cosa, si usted alguna vez compartió con ella el dolor, ella oró. Si usted alguna vez compartió con ella su bienestar, ella oró. Nosotros encontramos debajo de su cama unas bolsas grandes llenas de papelitos. Nuestra madre y padre oraban por nosotros en las horas de la madrugada. El canto sigue con la frase en latín que dice, ora pro nobis, ora por nosotros. Ruth, nuestra madre, lo hizo. Nietos, sepan esto. Ella oró por ustedes. Ella tal vez no fue una abuelita de besitos, pero ella oró por ti. Sé algo también, ella fue oída cuando ella estaba aquí, como más ahora que ella está en la presencia del Señor. Grandchildren, know this, she prayed for you. She may have not been a cuddly grandma, but she prayed for you. Know this also, she was heard when she was here, how much more now that she is in His presence. In conclusion, I want the world to know that Ruth, our mom, was a woman of God who lived a simple faith. She never complained. She put the needs of others before her own. She was a pastor's wife. It's just that her church were all of us, not just as a group somewhere. Please honor her by praying like she did. Think of it as if she had passed the Olympic flame to each and every one of you. En conclusión, yo quiero que el mundo sepa que nuestra mamá fue una mujer de Dios, quien vivió una fe simple. Nunca negó. Siempre puso los deseos de otros adelante de los de ella. Ella fue una esposa de un pastor, solo que su iglesia fuimos todos nosotros. Y no solo un grupo en algún lugar. Por favor, honrenla a ella, haciendo lo que ella hacía, orando. Piénselo como que ella les está pasando la antorcha olímpica a cada uno de ustedes. Try this. It works. Write it on a paper. Put it in a bag. It doesn't matter where. She just had a little jewelry box. It doesn't matter where. She had trash bags. Follow them. And that way you can honor her and show her how much you loved her and you learned from her example. I think now the grandchildren are going to say.